What's happening?
You got like a channel or something?
I was heading home from vacation in Hatteras, and I ended up having my first blowout on the big truck. I've changed a couple of these tires in the past, but I hired help and I was at the shop, had more tools. You know, it wasn't near like trying to change a tire on the side of the road, but I learned quite a bit from the experience. I figured I'd share it for those that haven't had to change a tire yet. Luckily, I was able to hear the tire blow. I had the windows down. I wasn't going real fast. It was in like a stoplight area, so I was stop and go, and tire blew, sounded like a shotgun went off. Luckily, I was able to pull over within a half a mile, and I was in a shopping center parking lot. It was the beef jerky outlet, actually, and I just got straight to work. I want to talk about some of the tools that I used that definitely saved the day. One being this torque multiplier that I'm using now to break all the main lug nuts loose. The torque multiplier is a must. I only had a small impact with me. I had one good sized breaker bar, and I ended up breaking that later in the video, as you'll see. So I'll definitely be adding a larger, stronger breaker bar, and I'll also be adding a 4-foot crowbar with the teeth on the end, like a demo bar. You'll see later in the video a couple of guys stopped right at the right time. I had 3 guys total stop that I don't know that I'd have made this happen without them. But here's fighting the tire off of the truck. I did some research on Steel Soldier's website on the weight of this setup here, and the Michelin XZL 395/85/20 weighs 227 pounds. The run flat inside weighs 150 pounds, and the wheel weighs 125 pounds. The bead lock that mounts to the front weighs 22 pounds. So that's a total of 524 pounds. I'm not sure how I was able to maneuver this thing the way I did, but I'm definitely still paying for it 3 or 4 days later. So here I'm just using the breaker bar, trying to get all of to separate the wheel. It's a 2-piece wheel, and the impact that I brought just wasn't strong enough to get them, so I had to manually just break them loose. And here in just a second, you'll see that I end up breaking my breaker bar on the very last nut to get the wheel separated. I'll stop the voiceover so you can hear the actual breaker bar break. I decided to take a short break. I got my water hose out just to rinse off and cool off. This old lady was so sweet. She walked up and asked if she could take a picture of the truck. She thought it was really cool. And I was just telling her, yes, of course she could. I was sorry it was a mess at the moment. But she was really nice. She was genuinely interested in the truck. She wanted to know all the details, and it was really nice. It was nice to take a minute and talk to her.
Yeah. Actually, I ate a few this morning. That's all I had to eat today for a few months. Yeah. I'll read that.
still hadn't broke that last nut loose, so I got a pipe wrench, a large pipe wrench that I had, and I put that on the end of another socket wrench. It wasn't really a breaker bar, it was just a large socket wrench, and you can see right here I get that final last little bit on it to where the impact could take it the rest of the way. I had just lowered the new tire down from the truck and got the chains off and was getting ready to roll that over to get it in place. So that's the new tire. I had just taken that off. That wasn't on camera, but so that the new tire leaning up against us. Here's where the biggest fight of the whole thing started. I couldn't get the wheel out of the tire. And at the end of this fight, I believe what was causing the problem was the bolt on the back side of the wheel holding the valve stem in. And I was somewhat aware of that the whole process, so I was trying to fight against the valve stem, to where I could, it would slide by it, but I just wasn't having any luck. I sprayed some WD-40 around it here, hoping to lube it up some, but it was a constant fight, and tried prying, beating, banging, flipping it over. At this point is when two guys that were in the little oyster raw bar on the corner, they came out. They were driving the truck you saw in the last clip that was parked right behind where my trailer is. It was a truck and trailer, and those guys really saved the day. When they came out, they had a 4-foot pry bar with the teeth on the end pictured here, and I am getting one of these to add to the truck. They had that crowbar and 2 6x6s, and that's what literally helped save the day. And they helped me, of course, move the tire around a couple of times, which, I was at this point feeling like I might even pass out. It's 90 plus degrees. I'm exhausted. I hadn't ate. It was just a little too early in the day for this, but I managed and fought through it. Total time was almost 3 hours, just shy of 3 hours for this process. And all in all, it's not bad. I told the guy that ran the restaurant on the corner that it could take me up to 24 hours. I didn't know exactly what I was getting into and if I had everything on board. Right now, I'm getting ready to put the new tire on the wheel, and I noticed while I was beating and banging, I had put a small dent in the little beadlock seal area. So I just smoothed that back out. It was very easy, soft metal. So here's getting the tire and the run flat positioned back onto the wheel. Wasn't that hard at all. Kind of just fell on into place with a little wiggling. The guy that walks up now, he's the cook for the raw oyster bar on the corner, and I was telling him I was in pretty good shape at this point. The only thing I might need from him was a hand getting the wheel tire off the ground and just back to where I could roll it onto the hub. And he was telling me that their hood in the restaurant had just gone out, the hood fan, so he had to go up on the roof and try to make a repair to that. So I was kind of taking my time cleaning up a little bit. I still had to put all the nuts for the beadlock back on. And it was just kind of, I felt like I was at a good position at this point. So that's him going up onto the building, and it took him quite a while to do what he was doing. I ended up getting the wheel back together here, as you'll see in a minute, and kind of waited around for him, and then I could tell that he wasn't coming down anytime soon. So I decided to put the spare tire back up and try to just kill a little more time. I really did not want to lift this new wheel and tire by myself. If you look close, you can actually see some sprinkles falling. Thought we were about to get a quick storm, which would have just delayed me having to pick up tools and such, but it didn't last, just a few drops. So the spare tire going back in, I tell you, this process, I wouldn't have been able to do it without that air over hydraulic tire lift either. Definitely a awesome tool for the truck. So I was feeling pretty good at this point, thinking I was home free. Little did I know, I still had a big fight ahead of me. It was about now that I realized I was going to be lifting this tire up by myself. That guy was definitely taking his time to get up on the roof, and I don't know, I could say 20 minutes has passed at this point, and I wanted to get back on the road. So I I used this 2x4 hammer to get the tire up a little bit off the ground, put the 2x4 under it to try to use that as leverage to just get it a few inches off the ground. I guess it helps some, but it wasn't going to do exactly what I needed. So I basically just gathered my thoughts and said a little prayer right here, and just went for it. So here's where the next big fight started. I thought I'd be all right here. You know, I had a 20-ton jack under the truck. You see that guy that just went by and turns around and comes back? This guy really saves me, man.
I don't know, man. I feel like I'm gonna be all right, but you don't happen to have like a long pry bar of some sort, do you? That might help a lot. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen this truck somewhere online or something. But, yeah.
I didn't get this guy's name, man, but I tell you, he didn't hesitate to jump right in and get his hands dirty with me. And again, I just don't know that I'd have been able to do this without the tools and the manpower that the three guys in total blended. But the pry bar really made a difference here with just getting the minor shifts, you know, left and right to try to get the studs lined back up on the wheel. Had to raise the truck a little bit, come down a little bit, but just damn near impossible for me to do by myself. But again, I can't thank these guys enough. Man, this guy said he had seen the truck online before. I hope he sees this. If you do, definitely leave me a comment so I can say thank you again.
No, ma'am, it's just my vacation thing.
I'm finally starting to feel good about things now. I'm tightening up the lug nuts. I'm about to grab the torque multiplier again and actually torque them down. Alright guys, well I appreciate you watching. If this helped you in any way, leave me a comment, let me know. Also, if you see anything that I could do differently to make this process easier for me in the future, or other tools that may help, let me know. So I've got the new tire back on, holding air, and we're gonna hit the road. It didn't take about an hour before we started running into some storms. I took a new route home and got turned around a little bit. Spent quite a bit of time on back roads, but I enjoyed it. Thanks again for watching. See you soon.